How's it going, everybody? Nathaniel from RCInsight here, and I am back with another video for you guys. It's been a little over a month since my last video, and I'm back with yet another update video, which I always seem to do when I have not been uploading a lot. But for those of you who follow the channel and know a little about me, you probably know a little bit of why I haven't really been uploading in this past month. I am in my new studio now. Lighting's not really set up. Camera's not really set up. Well, really not a lot of it's set up at all. But it's getting there. It's getting to the point where it's usable about 2 to 3 years after I was originally hoping to use this space. Yeah, should have been in here a long time ago, and a lot has happened. But I really want to get this space up and running now, and so that's why I'm starting by filming a video here. This is a video that I've wanted to make for a little while, and I wasn't exactly sure how to go about doing it. I've always talked about wanting to be more consistent with uploads, and yet again, I'm in school and I've got stuff going on, and I haven't been very consistent, and that's frustrating to me, and I really want to have more of that consistency, especially as I'm nearing 2,000 subscribers, which is awesome, and I really appreciate you guys for that. But for those of you who know, for those of you who don't know, about a year ago, my younger brother passed away. He committed suicide. October 24th was the date. And so this last little bit has been pretty tough for me. And part of the reason why I haven't been uploading, I got behind on my school, took some time off, and I'm trying to catch up. And so I just haven't had a lot of time to upload. I have videos that have been edited and done for a while, and I just haven't got around to posting them. So hopefully some of them can come soon. It's now the 13th of November, so several weeks after he passed away last year. He helped out a lot with the channel. He did a lot for the channel, filming, fueling my RC passion. He owned a bunch of the RC stuff. He really was heavily involved, and so I've said before in videos that I want to keep this going for him. But it's also tough to do without him, and he's sorely missed. And like I said, it's now November 13th. I was thinking of doing this video on the 24th, and that turned out to be a bad day. And my Instagram got hacked, which sucks. I still don't have it back. So if I do get it back, I'll make a video on that. But that's a whole other thing for another time. Yeah. And so then the 5th of November was his birthday, and I was going to do this video then because I thought that was more fitting. Family was here. I didn't have the opportunity at the time, and so I didn't get to it then either. But I wanted to make this video to tell you guys where I've been, what's going on. Could basically say what I've said, and I wrote a little something, and I've debated if I really have wanted to say it or not, but I've decided that I think I do want to say it. Kind of deviated. I never read script, but I'm going to do that here. I kind of deviated from the beginning already. So we're just going to skip the whole part about my introduction, because I've done that already and talked about some other things. And yeah, we'll just get into it, because I figured that doing a YouTube video was the best way for me to do this. I love writing. It's therapeutic for me. I write and talk to get things out. And in memory of my brother Michael, I really wanted to make this video. October 24th, 2020 was a day that changed my life forever. Now, a little over a year later, I have still hardly come to grips with it. I made a video back in January titled Surviving Suicide 3 months later. I had plans to do one for 6 months, 9 months, and then a year. From there, I'd see how things were going and maybe continue with the video annually. The idea of those videos were to try and create a platform for other people with similar experiences to see that they weren't alone, and to know that whatever they were feeling was valid and okay. Maybe it did that for someone, maybe it didn't. But after filming it, the video just rang hollow for me. And that's what mattered. And so I didn't do it again. Because the truth is, no matter how right I may have been about what I had to say in that video, I couldn't take my own advice or believe in what I had to say myself. And so the videos just felt worthless and meaningless in light of that. You know, if I don't believe what I'm saying, I just decided it wasn't worth it. And that's been a recurring pattern over the last year for me. Taking my anger and my frustration and my pain and my sorrow and my grief and redirecting it on myself. I've been in a horrible place mentally, and truthfully, I've hardly even started grieving. And it really hasn't set in what happened, even though it's been a full year. I don't know if that's the ugly nature of suicide that makes it even harder to come to grips with. I don't know. This video is supposed to be about Michael and not me. And yet, it affects me in so many ways. 1 year ago today, my life changed forever. 1 year ago, my life changed forever. 1 year ago, you would have turned 16. 1 year ago, you would have been able to drive. Not only that, but 1 year ago, you would have been operating your very first retail store on yet another one of your successful business endeavors. Today, you would have been 17. In your final year of high school, getting excited for whatever lied ahead. We'd both be looking forward to skiing together yet again. You'd already be starting on Christmas decorations before your birthday was even over. You would once again have spent way more money than you should have on absolutely amazing gifts for everyone around you. Because you loved spoiling people. It was one of the many ways you showed just how much you loved and cared. Though things were never perfect, they were continuously getting better. All of that was gone in an instant, and I still don't have the words to describe it. Writing is therapeutic to me in a lot of ways. Writing songs, videos, or even trying to undertake writing a book. I don't know where this writing will ultimately take me, but it's something that I've determined I need to do. 1 year later, I still have yet to confront the fact that you are gone. I don't know if it's that I don't want to or that I can't, but it breaks me to even think about the fact that you got to the point in your life that was so low, you determined the best thing for you was to just end it. When you were sad and alone in your room, contemplating death, I was going to McDonald's to get a McFlurry. I was even going to ask you if you wanted one, but I knew you already had ice cream that night, and so I didn't bother. You don't know how many times that has gone through my head. What if I just asked you? What if I just asked you if you wanted ice cream? How different would that night have played out? Would you see my face and stopped to think? Would the anticipation of ice cream have been enough? Knowing you, I don't know. You called on the phone earlier that day. You were quarantining your room because you may have been exposed to COVID, and you asked me to bring you some water. I deferred to someone else. That was the last conversation we ever had. I wish I had just gone up to your room and given you the water just to talk to you and see your face one last time. You were so happy that morning and excited to see me and talk to me. You'd just been shopping and gotten the final accessories you needed for your store. You mentioned the COVID exposure notification you got. I was just trying to be proactive and helpful, but I wish I would have told you it was no big deal instead of telling you it was something to be concerned about. How different would that day have been if that wasn't on your mind, worrying you, stressing you out? If you didn't have to worry about pushing back the store opening day or going the next morning to get a test. If you didn't have any of that to worry about, how different would the day have been? I know you can never do the what ifs, and I've spent the better part of a year trying not to. But 1 year ago, you should have been blowing out candles on your cake and opening gifts we had already got for you, and you weren't there for it. You weren't there for it because a little more than a week before, one of the biggest birthdays of your life just became not worth living. And so a year later, it's hard for me to not ask, what if, from time to time? Because from time to time, it hits me that you're not really here. From time to time, reality sinks in and I realize how empty my life is and how not okay I really am. I try to suck it up and keep doing the things for you, keep living my life, play hockey, do school, make videos, have fun. But it's become a meaningless blur, like I'm going through the motions, not caring, not connecting, because there's something that's just stopping me. And so I just keep ignoring it. I keep ignoring all the pain inside and the fact that I'm actually missing you. I try to forget the day, the week after, the months that followed. But the truth is that it keeps running through my mind. The album I was listening to at the time, the puzzle I was building the moment I found out you had died, the moment my world came crumbling in. But it wasn't just my world. Your world was gone completely. In that moment, it ended. I don't know how to process those emotions. Is it selfish to talk about me and how your actions have made me feel? Should I not care about how you felt in the moment because that's in the past and you're gone and I'm left? So I'm the only one who still has feelings to be hurt. Should I even focus on how you felt that day? Does it really even matter? It's in the past and it can't be changed. And yet I wish I could have just been there for you. To talk to you and to make you feel loved. Because I don't feel guilty or like I didn't do enough. In fact, I learned after you died that you thought the world of me. Why didn't I know that? Why didn't I ever know that before, huh? So I don't feel guilty, but I do wish I was there that day. Even if this was inevitable, even if there was no stopping it, just wanted to give you one last hug that was full of life. Because a year later, I also feel empty and broken, like I have nothing left to give. And the pain that I'm in, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Not even the most horrible people in the world deserve to go through something like this. And there's so many days I just want to join you in hopes that maybe I can see you again. And in spite of all that, I haven't gone through with it. And that just brings me back. Brings me back to how low you must have been. How dark a place that is. I can't even fathom. You were always so good at things. Always making sure that when you had your mind set to something, it was done to perfection. So why'd your mind have to be set on this? There was so much ahead of you to look forward to. So much I looked forward to. I feel robbed of that. All these moments with you I wanted to share. Just seeing you grow up into the amazing and annoying and persistent person you were becoming. I know this has to stop somewhere, so it might as well be here. 1 year ago, I celebrated the life of the person I love the most. I want to end on a hopeful note, but right now I can't. I just don't have it in me. I'll be celebrating your life again this year, and all the incredible things you did. And I will every year hereafter. But it will always be bittersweet and filled with tears of wanting you back. Going on without you is hard, and I don't know how long I can do it. Our world is broken, and it needed people like you, with your heart and spirit, to be a light and to help us start to heal. I know you loved us all so deeply, and you couldn't stand to hurt any one of us. Which is why, no matter what was going on in your head and what you were feeling, you didn't truly mean what you did. And while it's ultimately not about us and how we feel, it's about you and how deeply you were hurting, it still stands true There's comfort knowing that even your worst moments, what you cared about most was not hurting those around you. Like the rest of us, you failed often. But you always came back to apologize because you cared. You had love in your heart. If you could have, you would have come back from this too. Come back to give us all hugs. Say you're sorry and you didn't know what you were thinking. Because honestly, what teenager does know what they're thinking? I know you wanted to live and had so much to live for. And I know you wanted me to live too. It's part of why I'm still here. If only I could have been there. If only I could have been there to tell you what you told me. How hard it is living not knowing if your brother's going to wake up in the morning. Truthfully, I don't know if he will. But I know it's even harder living without your brother. And I'd give anything to have that back. And I'd give anything to have you back. I sincerely hope I see you again someday, in whatever way that may be. No, I'm waiting to give you another hug and welcome you back as my right-hand man. Or maybe I was your right-hand man. I love you, Michael. So that's where I'm going to end this video, guys. Thank you for those of you who watched it all the way to the end. It's tough for me to read and write that, but I think it's important. Maybe even more so than the video that I made 9 months ago. Bear with me as I still try and figure out what I'm doing with this channel and where it's going. But hoping to have some new content coming soon. And I'm hoping that all of it will, in some way, just be an extension of remembering Michael and what he did and his contributions to this channel. I'm going to keep doing it for him. And because I love it, but for him. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.